Hey, and welcome to the Dangerous Creatives podcast. If you're growing your photography or creative business, you're in the right place. Each week, we deliver a workshop-style solo show, expert interview, or motivating story from our community so you can tune in to find encouragement, motivation, and ideas to help the right people find you and your amazing work. I'm your host, Kristin Sweeting. I'm a photographer and coach, and my favorite thing is helping dangerous creatives just like you stand out in a world that just wants us to blend in. I'm glad you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to the Dangerous Creatives podcast. It's the middle of the summer. It is so freaking hot here. And if you're listening to this in July, we are on our summer sabbatical, which has been something I've done for the last, close to 10 years now, where I kind of plan on taking July off or doing a lot less work and enjoying the summer. And it started when I was pregnant with my son, and I was like, I'm definitely not shooting any weddings in July in Tennessee while I'm very pregnant. And I sat in the pool in an inner tube until I had my baby. And it was the best decision I ever made that summer. And so I've been doing that most of the summer since then, blocking off July, not really taking any weddings in July. And even our coaching programs, we designed to give everyone a break in the middle of the summer. And so before we jump into today's topic, I just want to encourage you to find some rest this summer, to plan little bits of fun or vacation, or even think ahead for next year. If you want to take a sabbatical, we have some resources on how to do that and how to plan ahead and how to kind of set up your business so that you can take a whole month off. It is so rejuvenating and always makes us come back so much more excited for the work that we're doing. And we even see it with our mastermind and our coaching clients. Having that little bit of break from just hustling in the middle of the year is so helpful to everyone's mindset and mentality. And when we all come back, a lot of times we still had a really successful July despite not really working. So just an encouragement. And that's what you will find me doing this month is I'll be in my garden or in the pool or just trying to enjoy a very, very warm summer. But anyway, today's topic for this podcast is if you're feeling stuck this summer, here are some things to do. I have a list of 7 things, and it's both practical things you can do for your business. If you're like, hey, Kristin, a sabbatical is great, but I actually need to make money right now. I can't be taking a break. I did not plan ahead to take a break. I need to work. Or if you're like, hey, I've been working so hard. I'm not sure how to slow down. I'm not sure how to have fun this summer. I'm overthinking everything. I'm really stressed about my business. There are some things for you if you are in either of those places today, and just some things to think about. So I hope that this is encouraging, this solo episode today, giving you my list of 7 things to do if you're feeling stuck this summer and how to kind of break out of a rut at any time, really. Okay, so number 1 on my list of 7 is to create a relaxed, fun weekday routine. Have you guys ever done a batched weekday schedule? I love a batch schedule. I do this all year long. In the summer, I make it a little bit more expansive. I schedule a little bit less for myself in the summer, but even during the year, I have a pretty relaxed schedule. So here's an example of the one that we use and the one that we kind of encourage people to use in our membership and in our coaching programs. So a relaxed, fun, themed schedule looks like this. On Monday, the theme is marketing. So a lot of times on Monday, I'm recording these podcasts. I'm doing content for social media or thinking through like, hey, what do I want to be putting out on social media this week? If there's anything I want to write, I might take that time on a Monday, especially in a morning. I think creating marketing content takes a lot of focus. And so at least I know for me, if I'm trying to write an email, if I'm trying to make a reel or a TikTok video or a podcast, I need to be able to not be interrupted, to have a lot of focus time, and to be excited too. And so coming off of a weekend on that Monday, a lot of times I have more energy. I'm feeling a little bit more social. I can put on a cute outfit to be in front of the camera, and I can get a lot done on a Monday. And so this can work even if you're like, hey, I have small kids, I don't have a lot of time to work during the week. Try to get a couple hours of focused time. A lot of research shows that if we can get 90 minutes of uninterrupted focus time, we can get into a flow and we can do some of our most effective work in that period of time. So try to at least get 90 minutes or 2 sections of 90 minutes where you can focus on a Monday. Or if you do have more time, even kind of putting some constraints on yourself of, hey, in the morning, I'm going to do this task. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to do this task. It can really help you be a lot more efficient and to get things done and then go and enjoy the rest of your Monday. If marketing is something that's really challenging for you, where you're like, I don't like doing this, I don't want to wake up and record marketing material for myself, build in a reward at the end of the day. I had one client who felt this way a long time ago, and I was like, make Monday Margarita Monday too. Like, go and do your marketing, and at the end of the day, have something that you're looking forward to. You can go out with a friend, get a marg, talk about your day, and feel really accomplished. That feeling of getting something done that was challenging is just such a good feeling. Tuesday, I take Tuesday off, and then that's my off day where I'm homeschooling my son. We are going to the library, we're doing history and math, and we're doing it the other days too, but on Tuesday that is my full priority. So Tuesday is my off day from work, and I'm really focusing on family things. In the past, I've called it my stay-at-home mom day because I actually really love some of those homey tasks like cooking and baking, and I don't really get a chance to do them if I don't schedule them. And so on Tuesday, that's kind of what I do. I get to make a lot of food. We get to play outside. We get to see friends. We get to do homeschooling stuff. And so in the summer, we might be at the pool or might be going on a long walk or a hike. And so I really love having Monday to get a lot done. I feel like it's a busy day. People are answering emails, and then Tuesday to have that be my off day, especially since a lot of us are working on the weekends. Wednesday for us is a coaching day or more of an active day. So I might just schedule my coaching calls on Wednesdays or consultation calls, like if someone wants to meet with me about a wedding or a shoot or any kind of meeting, really. It happens on a Wednesday. And so we have our mastermind calls on Wednesdays, and a lot of my coaching calls are on Wednesdays. Thursday, I do kind of a half day. I have coaching calls or shoots in the afternoon, and the morning is a free day, homeschool day, personal day. And then Friday is a day off. It's fun, field trips, exploring, being with my son, being with friends. So I kind of have those two more intense days during the week, Monday and Wednesday, and then a half day on Thursday, and then Friday is off, Tuesday is off, unless I have a wedding where I'm doing like a rehearsal dinner or traveling for a wedding, and then a wedding on Saturday if I have one. So that's what our schedule looks like. There is a PDF freebie that I'm going to link in the show notes that shows you this framework. If it's something you want to adjust for yourself, or you're like, actually, that kind of sounds nice, I want to adopt that same schedule, totally feel free to do the same thing. I've named each of the days just to make it easy to remember, and they all have kind of funny names and some tasks that you do with them. But this is a really helpful exercise to do, not just with work, but also like if chores are overwhelming, or if you are balancing a full-time job and a part-time job, or you have multiple roles that you're really trying to do well, I often joke, I'm like, if I was only doing my business, I would have so much time. I would be able to get so much done. I don't even know what I could get done in that amount of time. But I'm also really passionate about being with my son and homeschooling in this season. We travel together in world school. And so trying to do both of those things well is so important to me. And so having a really nicely planned out week, but without like micromanaging myself. I'm too B type to do that. I need it to still feel like open and flowy and fun and spontaneous, or I kind of rebel against it. So that's our framework. We're going to link it in the show notes if that would be a helpful tool for you. So that's number one, create a fun, relaxed weekday routine. Number two is to reward yourself after you finish a deep task or like something that you've been putting off for a long time. A lot of times those things are more marketing centric, like something that you are sending out to people, something that you are creating behind the scenes. Maybe you're working on your website or blogging or have some kind of new offer that you're building and you've been putting it off, putting it off. Build in ways to reward yourself when you take action towards that goal. We've played around with having a jar full of different things that you pull out that's like the reward for when you do a task. When I do a task, I'm like, I'm going to go on a walk, or I'm going to call a friend, or I'm going to make a special coffee. I've been making like brown sugar shaken oat milk latte things, and maybe I give myself a little treat or go and get my nails done. So having a little jar. Also, and I know it sounds silly, this is the teacher in me coming out. Sticker charts are effective with a lot of adults too, myself included. So having something I can see where I'm putting a sticker, I'm tracking something, I'm checking it off. We've done the thermometers where, we've done this for financial goals where we're like, our savings goal is this much money, and we're going to fill in the thermometer until we hit it. Those visual aids are so helpful when you're trying to hit a bigger goal or when it's something that feels really overwhelming. So come up with a reward system or something that you can use to visually track your goal. And it can be super motivating, especially in the summer when it's hard to find motivation sometimes. And number 3 on our list of 7 is brainstorm a new income stream. If you've been here anytime at all, you know that I think every creative should have more than one income stream. Not just if you're a photographer and you're doing weddings, like let's think beyond that. Let's think of what else we can be offering. If you're a coach, if you're offering any kind of service, I think it's so important to have things that are non-service related that we're offering, that we have different options built into our business, because we all know entrepreneurship can be a bit of a roller coaster. And if you're a solopreneur, or it's just you, or you have a small team, having those cash flow roller coaster years can be really challenging. Where you're like, I had a great May, but man, I'm making zero money this summer. It can be really stressful, especially if you're new to it or you don't have a system for tracking your money or your expenses. And it can kind of hit you out of the blue and can be really discouraging. I've seen a lot of people quit their business because of that, or just kind of have a hard time, or just be really down on themselves, which I don't think we should be. We're all here learning, and every year I learn something new that I apply to my business that I take with me forward. And so tracking money, having savings set aside for the lower months is so important. But also having multiple income streams within your business can be really, really helpful with that too. We always encourage people to have some kind of retainer client or something that's going to carry their cash flow through month to month, especially if your other kind of income is up and down. A retainer client can be really nice and steady through the year for you. Albums, if you're a photographer, prints, fine art prints, those are huge. Stock photography, making courses, memberships, some kind of mini course that you can sell. We have been using Kajabi as a platform for years now, and so have been able to sell everything from mini courses to presets to digital guides to bigger programs like masterminds and retreats and intensives and full online courses. And it doesn't have to be one specific thing. I'm sure you've seen people making courses and you're like, well, everyone's making a course. But think about all the things in the world there are to create something about, or to have a membership around, or to create a community around. There's infinite possibilities of how this could look, and it can be based on your passion and what you see a need in your industry for. And so I really think everyone should have a digital offer of some kind in their business, and it can just be such a nice thing for you, but also a way to give back to people as you're growing yourself. So Kajabi is what we use. I'll link to them in the show notes too. It's just such a great platform for building out memberships and courses and mini courses. It's a great host, and it takes payment and all that kind of stuff. We've been using them for over 5 years now. On my list of brainstorming new income stream is consulting for what you're doing. So again, there is always a consulting piece to what we're doing, both on the client side and on the business side. They B2B is what they say, the business lingo, and you're like a business serving another business. So there's always the B2B side of consulting, but there's also the B2C, the business to consumer, the couples that you're working with for photography or for coaching or for whatever your niche is. They might also have some consulting that they need done. So on the photography side, I've done consulting for businesses who wanted me to train their in-house photographer to help them get better at photography or specific things or just troubleshoot. I've done consulting with teams. I've done image and brand consulting. There's so many things that we would be able to consult on. I've consulted on people's education offers, on their pricing, on their retreats. So there's a lot of different things that you can offer in the consulting area. A retreat, renting out your house for photo shoots. This has been a really fun one for me. I've done this for years. Is, when we're visual creatives, a lot of times we have a space that is really inspiring that other people feel inspired by too. And so I love creating, little places in my house that feel like they could be used for photo shoots. And so the last few houses we've owned, we've also rented them out to other people for video shoots or photo shoots. And if you're watching this on video, you can see my laundry behind me. It doesn't mean my house is pristine. This room I usually close, my office/laundry room, apparently. And the other rooms in the house I staged to be able to rent out for photo shoots. And it's been really awesome. Like, we've found it to be really fun. People will rent it for a couple hours or sometimes for a full day if they're doing a bigger video shoot. And there's a couple different platforms that you can do this on. I think it depends on what city you're in, but even if you're plugged into a community of creatives, sometimes you can even just mention to people that you're willing to do this, and it can be a great way to make a little extra money. Making a podcast. You can make money from podcasting. It can be a great way to market your service offers or your courses or other things that you're doing. You can also have sponsor income or membership income. There's a lot of different ways to make money with podcasting. This one's not like a quick and easy situation. Podcasting takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but it is really fulfilling and really fun. And I love it when people start podcasts. And I'm starting a different kind of photography, doing commercial work or branding or something kind of on the side. I think there are so many avenues that we can explore as a photographer. If you're a photographer listening, I know not everyone listening is a photographer, but in all of our industries, there's ways to think outside the box of what we're used to doing. So just wanted to give you an encouragement of some different ways to brainstorm new income streams. I think that they can be really, really helpful, especially in a year that feels uncertain, or if you're not feeling as busy as you want to be. Maybe take a slower time to build some other systems into your business so that you're not feeling that roller coaster quite so much in the future. Outsourcing has been one of the most important things I've done as I've grown my photography business over the last 18 plus years. For a while, I had an assistant that came to my house. I still have someone that comes and does a whole bunch of things for me. It just gives me so much time back. But one of this podcast sponsors, Imagen AI, has really taken the outsourcing game up a notch and allows us to now train an AI assistant on how to edit our work for us. So we're not losing any creative control. We can tell it how to fix its edits each time that it edits for us. So it's always going in and doing a base edit for me, and I go back in and I do the finer details myself, like little retouches or things that I want changed. So I never feel like I lose creative control, but it speeds up my editing time. Even while I was traveling this last month, I edited some of my digital work with AI while I was waiting for the film to come back. And it still let me go out and travel with my family and experience the cities we were in. And I never felt like I had to stay home editing while they were out doing fun things. So make sure you check out Imagen AI. You can go to imagenai.com/podcast for a special offer. You get 1,500 free edits through the program by using our code, and click the link in the show notes or enter that URL and you'll get that offer. So hope you enjoy. Let us know how Imagen works for you. All right, number 4, things to do when you're feeling stuck this summer. Make a pitch deck. A lot of us are building platforms on Instagram or social media channels, and they can be things that we can use to make more money, to promote other things. We can pitch ourselves to be on podcasts. I love for all of my coaching clients to have a pitch deck where it kind of outlines some of the things that they bring to the table, their experiences, where they are, where they're based, any platform that they're on, and like what they could do for some kind of partner. So we have used our pitch deck to get free stays at hotels in exchange for some photography, or even get paid to do some photography when we're staying at a hotel. We've used our pitch deck to get sponsorships with different businesses that we want to work with, restaurants or whatever, kind of in exchange for sharing about what they do on our platforms. Also, user generated content. You don't even have to share it on your own platform, but you might be creating content while you're traveling and sharing it with some brands. We've used a pitch deck to pitch speaking, getting paid to speak different places, being on podcasts. We've used it to pitch for new guests to come onto this podcast. So having a pitch deck can just be really helpful, especially if you're trying to run a personal brand or have a business of some kind, be a leader. Most of our community is a leader in their industry in some way. And so you want to make sure you have a pitch deck. And you can do this by finding a template on Canva. I don't have a template that we're selling or giving away right now, but maybe we will in the future. It is something that we talk about inside of our membership. If you're in the Dangerous Creatives membership or mastermind, there is a pitch deck in there that we give to our members. Okay, number 5 is organize your money. The summer is a great time to get a little cozy with your money. And there's always something that we can be doing to organize our money, whether it's dividing our bank accounts so we have a business account and a personal account. Maybe we want to start a savings account this year. I just opened a high yield savings account. I've been investing for years, but I didn't have a high yield savings account with my emergency fund in it. I just had like traditional savings and my investments. And I was like, I really need a high yield savings account. And high yield savings accounts are great because they're really not much risk at all, but they have a higher interest rate. And so you can put maybe your like your business savings or your personal savings emergency fund into a high yield savings account, and that interest is going to compound over the years that you have it in there. And so we have one that we've really liked. I'll also link it in the show notes. It's a Wealthfront account, and they have really great interest rate right now. It'll go up and down as the market goes up and down, but right now it's like such a great time to put your money in a high yield savings account, and there just is not that much risk at it with it at all. It's like a savings account, only better interest rate on your money. Let your money make some money. But also think about, what are my next money goals? Do I want to pay off debt? Do I want to simplify my system? Do I want to start tracking my expenses so I know what's coming in and going out every month and I'm not surprised next month? So any place that you're feeling a little bit of stress, or you're like, I really want to feel empowered with my money and I really want to feel like I'm on top of it for the second half of 2025, put a little extra effort there. Maybe you want to start investing this year or contribute more to a retirement account. Those are great goals to have, and it can be a great time right now, maybe when things feel a little bit slower or the days are longer, to just spend a little extra time watching some videos, getting educated about how to contribute to your Roth IRA or to do a little investing. Really, I've found that like really understanding that side of my business and my life has helped in so many ways, not just in freeing me up to be more creative, but reducing stress and helping me feel more confident in all areas of my life. Okay, number 6, do your job just for fun. When was the last time you did personal work or a personal shoot or something that was creative without it being for a client? I know for me that I can go months without doing something like this, even years sometimes. And those personal shoots are so important. Doing that personal creative work just because you're like, I'm really inspired by this one thing. I want to explore. I want to be curious. I want to see what I can create by doing this. And so that this can be a great time to do a personal shoot, is to grab a model, grab a friend, come up with an idea that you want to execute on your own and really run with it. And sometimes that's my favorite work that I make, is when I'm like, hey, I'm not going to do this for the money. I'm going to do this for the fun of it, for the joy of it, and tap back into those roots of why I started doing this in the first place. And it can really create a lot of energy that keeps you going forward. And then last but not least, number 7, get in front of the camera. And this can apply to anybody. When was the last time you were photographed? Your family was photographed? When was the last time you updated your branding photos? I'm talking to myself here because I think I'm still using photos from 5 years ago. It is time to update my branding photos. I know it is. And every time I'm in front of the camera, I learn so much. I learn about what is helpful to hear on the other side. I learn what makes someone comfortable, what makes someone uncomfortable. I learn to be more confident. And I think if you're a person who maybe isn't used to the way they look on camera, or maybe you don't like how you look in photos, this kind of exposure therapy can be really helpful. Over time, the more I'm photographed, the more I photograph myself, the more I see myself on camera, on video, the more I'm like, okay, I see you. You're cute. And for years, I hated looking at myself on video. I hated listening to myself. I hated photos of myself. I really struggled with body image and a lot of other things. And there's something psychological when you're just used to looking at yourself more often, you become more endeared to yourself. And so I think this helps so many areas of life, not just creativity, but confidence, connection, because when we're connected to ourselves, we're also better at connecting with other people. And I think it gives us a lot of empathy for our subjects. If you're a photographer, or if you're listening and you're a therapist, or you're doing some other kind of service-based work, being able to empathize with your clients and feel what it feels like to be vulnerable on the other side of the camera can really help us in so many ways as we're relating to our clients. So that's my last challenge to you, is to get in front of the camera this summer. I will as well. And to have a lot of fun creating some new things in your business. I hope if you are feeling discouraged, or if you've been kind of overthinking things or beating yourself up, hope that you remember that this is a long, fun journey of running our business. It's not for everyone. It can be hard and challenging. And I know that if you're here and you're listening to this podcast, that you have that resilience to keep going, and you have something that is so valuable to you that you want to share with the world. So take that to heart. Stay encouraged, find ways to gamify this thing that we call our business, and I hope your summer is one of the most joyful summers yet. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Dangerous Creatives podcast. Check out dangerschool.com to join our community and support the show. Thanks to our team, Jen Madigan Creative, for producing, and to Fire Choir for our intro music. Tune in again next time, and thanks for your support.